Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn and this is not what videos are usually like on my channel, but it's Halloween, so I figured it's about time for a story time. This story is from when I lived in Maritime Hall, which is in South Residence on the University of Guelph campus. I lived in Seaway 3. So POV, it's Halloween 2019. It's a Thursday night and I have an 8:30 a.m. class on Friday. I have accounting on Friday. So I'm not going out on actual Halloween. I have decided that, it's midnight, I should go to bed. I don't want to be late for class tomorrow, even though it's Halloween. So I'm comfortably laying in bed, about to fall asleep at 12:30 in the morning, and my door opens to my room. Now, I don't normally lock my door because I don't want to carry my key around everywhere, and I figure, well, maybe this is just one of my friends, and they couldn't make it up to the 6th floor. I had a lot of friends that lived on the 6th floor, so she wants to just stay here. She's drunk, she just wants to sleep in my room, that's fine. But she falls over my chair. So now this person has walked into my room, closed my door, and then fallen over my desk chair. So I sit up in bed, and I'm like, Sarah, are you okay? Because I think it's my friend Sarah, based on, I think she has brown hair, and she looks tall. So I look at her and I'm like, Sarah, are you okay? And she just groans. She's like, So she starts getting up using the chair. She's trying to get herself up. And I realize that this is not my friend Sarah. So I have my window open so I can have some light from outside, and I can see dimly that this is not Sarah. I don't know who this is, but she gets up and sits on my bed. I'm like, hey, this is not your room. And she's like, I know. And she takes off her shoes. And I'm like, oh, interesting. Then she stands up. I'm like, cool, she's leaving. No, she was taking off her pants. So she takes off her pants and then gets into bed under my covers with me. So like, these are single beds. You don't have a lot of room next to each other. So me and this stranger who has just taken off her pants, fully in her underwear, is now laying in my bed under my covers next to me. So I'm like, oh, this isn't cool. So I get out of my bed, I sit in my chair, and I text my RA. I'm like, hey, someone's in my room. I don't know who she is. And at this point, I'm trying to talk to the girl. She's like not responding to me very much. She's like falling asleep. I'm like, hey, you can't fall asleep. This isn't your room. I'll help you back to your room. Where's your room? Because I think that she lives in this building. Another important fact that I'm not sure is true anymore, but was true at the time, is that in 2019, on big holidays like Halloween, Thanksgiving, St. Patrick's Day, Homecoming, all of those big events, we were not allowed to have any guests in our residence outside of the Guelph campus. So if I had someone who lived in Seaway 2 and she wanted to come over to Seaway 3 to hang out with me in my room, that was fine, but no guests from off campus. Whether that was someone who went to the University of Guelph but didn't live in residence, or if that was someone who like fully did not go to Guelph at all. So at this point I've called my RA, and she actually is the RA on call. So she shows up to my room and with another RA, so it's my RA and a male RA. First thing she says to me, she says, oh, I'm so glad it's you. I'm like, hello? My room has just been broken into. You're glad it's me? What she meant was that we had a good relationship, me and my RA. I wasn't going to be adding any problem to the situation, and I'm a pretty chill person overall. So I was just like sitting back watching this happen in my room. I wasn't like upset and mad. And they come in. I had my door open still at this point. I was like, well, if she wants to leave, she can leave at any point. I don't want the door to stop her. So they come in, and the male RA is like, oh my god, she's the one we were looking for. Big red flag. So this means that they have already identified that this person is a problem, and now she's in my bed, under my covers, sleeping with her pants off in my bed. They're trying to figure out what to do. My RA is trying to wake her up, and then suddenly her phone starts ringing. The person in my bed, her phone starts ringing in her pants that are on my floor. So the male RA, he picks up the phone, he's like, hello? It's one of her friends, and he's like, hey, you need to come and get your friend. She's in this room. We'll be waiting here for you. We got 2 RAs, you got your friend in bed, and the owner of the room. So a couple minutes later, the friends of this stranger show up. They introduce themselves as Avery and Gordon. Avery's actually her friend. Gordon doesn't seem to be her friend. He's just a guy that's there. they try and get her up. She's not waking up. Something that's very upsetting for Avery is that her friend on the bed, that I later learned her name was Hannah. So Hannah in the bed keeps calling Avery McKenna. So Avery's trying to wake up Hannah. Hannah's saying, "McKenna, go away, go away." And Avery starts crying because she's not McKenna. So they're both very drunk. All three of them, Gordon, Hannah, and Avery, are all very drunk. So Avery's crying, Hannah's still sleeping on my bed, Gordon's just standing outside being useless. And so the RAs step in, they get her up, and they try and start putting her pants back on. My RA asks Avery to go over and get Hannah's pants on, because she can't walk out of my room like that. So Hannah is laying in my bed still asleep, and Avery goes and picks up the pants that have been on my floor, and the first thing she says when she picks them up is, "Ugh, they're wet." So now, fun fact of the story, I'm very glad that she took off her pants because they were wet, and I didn't want whatever was on the pants to be in my bed. It wasn't raining, so it was some other liquid that could be anything. So happy now that she took off her pants, but they're trying to get the pants back on, and they're trying so hard to get her pants on, but every time they get them like over her knees, she starts like pushing them back down and like kicking her legs. She's just not cooperating at all. So eventually they ask Gordon, they're like, "Hey Gordon, can you carry her?" And he's like, "No, I don't know this girl. I'm not gonna carry her in her underwear." Like, good call, Gordon, but annoying at the time because I just wanted her out of my room. So we're in a conundrum. The end result is that Hannah has to walk out of my room with her cardigan tied around her waist, and they start walking back to Harbor 1, which is around the corner from Seaway 3, if you know anything about the map of Maritime. They were walking the wrong way, so that's fun, but they were out of my room, so that was exciting. And it turns out that Hannah was from Wilfrid Laurier. She was just visiting for Halloween, and she was staying in Avery's room. So that solves all those problems. But the moral of the story is that you should lock your doors. You should definitely lock your doors. Don't take my example. And don't have people break into your room, especially on busy nights like Halloween when people are coming back late. Please keep yourself safe. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. I have a couple more story times coming up in the future, so you might want to subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to see other kinds of videos that I make, you can see some here and here, and I'll see you in the next video.